Stop trying to run away from me and get the hell out of here. And then you tell me later what all has been going through your mind this whole time. I want to know why you were cuddling with my fiancé just then. Oh crap. So you really did see all of that. I was trying my best to get out of his arms there before you came. Well, you got away from me before I could question you about it. I want to know right now what's going on here. You think I'm going to come out of hiding when you're all angry with me? And I shouldn't have to explain anything to you, right? You already saw what was going on here. You just walked into the dressing room where your fiancé had been and he was cuddling with another woman, right? I shouldn't have to tell you what's going on. Are you kidding me? Does this mean you both have been in on this and have been hiding the fact that you both are together now? See, you knew what was going on here. We've been dating each other behind your back this whole time. It's been going on now for about 6 months. Excuse me? Come on now. It was mean of my twin sister to start going out with such a rich man while I had nobody to be with. We both have the same looks and everything even, yet you got to be the only one with a chance at becoming rich, which would leave me being left behind, becoming nothing more than a single and basic woman. Isn't that just the worst? Huh? Another thing, there is a major gap between Richard and you, right? At first I was thinking he was just some basic man himself who didn't even look good enough to be with you or I, but then I learned about how he is the son of a very wealthy family. Sounds like his family has a whole ton of different properties, right? Your reasons are because you found me being with a man like him disgusting and that only me becoming rich was unfair? Those are your frickin' reasons for letting your twin sister's fiancé start cheating on me with you? Hey, don't be so upset about that. I failed to get him to leave you like I had wanted. What was that? I was really trying to get him to jump over to me and leave you long before this day came, but Richard is a bit more stubborn than I had thought. And just before your guys' wedding today, he told me he couldn't marry me and then fled from me. However, I couldn't just let him leave me forever without one last memory, so I came into his changing room and started to cuddle with him. What the actual hell, though? Do you not realize what you've been doing by going out with Richard while he's been my fiancé? You just told me that you've been stabbing your own family in the back this whole time by going out with him behind my back. Oh, the wedding's going to be starting here soon. Stop trying to find me out of rage and get ready for your big day. I'm going to go out to my seat next to Mom and Dad now.
Mia, just give me one chance to speak with you. Let me explain to you what was just going on there. Can you please come back to the changing room to see me?
I don't ever want to see your damn face ever again. I've already heard everything from Amy about you two. It has been 6 months now since you first started cheating on me for my own sister.
Now, one might call it cheating, but I was just having a little fun is all. Look, you both look the same, but it's Amy who's a lot more exciting when it comes to romance. And well, when I realized she was that kind of girl, I just jumped onto her for a bit.
You're trying to say it was okay that you cheated on me because it was just for fun? You think I can forgive you for cheating on me with my sister and get back to having this wedding with you? No way in hell that's going to happen, asshole. This wedding is over.
What? Are you serious?
I sure the hell am. For right now, this wedding is being canceled, and later on we will talk about what to do next. We have to decide whether we'll stay together after this or break up with one another. I can't make those choices right now because I am so flustered, so give me some time and then we can discuss everything.
You think we can just cancel this wedding on the day of? Then screw it. If you don't want this wedding today, then we're through.
Really?
If you really wanted this wedding canceled that badly, then I can't become your husband. I'm gonna have this wedding today, and in your place, I'll be marrying your sister.
What the hell are you talking about? Now you're going to marry Amy? I have never in my life heard of a man changing who he plans to marry on the day of his wedding.
I'd rather this than have my wedding canceled on the day of. Both you and Amy have the same face and body as well, so nobody's even gonna notice that I'm marrying her now today and not you. And most of my guests here today are all close to me anyway, so I'm sure they won't even care. I can tell everyone later that I messed up the name on the invitations and everything, and they'll all buy it.
You're kidding me, right? Are you being serious about that?
Yeah, you think I'd be joking about this sort of thing? Also, having the bride change today will leave me feeling a whole lot better about things. To be frank, I think that your sister is far more cute than you, and a better lover in the bedroom.
Excuse me?
You both might share the same face and body, but she knows how to use both those things, unlike you. She is also very into me all the time and will laugh at all the jokes I tell her. When she started to date me half a year ago, I had never even known there could be someone so close to what a goddess is like, near me.
You really seem more attracted to Amy than you've ever been to me.
It's not like you want to ever see my face again, right? So what does it matter to you that I'm going to break up with you and marry Amy now? Or were you just trying to make me feel bad by saying that? Really do want to marry me still? I guess you always have been falling head over heels for me this whole time.
Huh?
Yeah, that's right. If you tell me that you're sorry for getting all upset with me for simply cheating on you, then I'll rethink marrying Amy instead of you. Come find me right now. Apologize to me on your hands and knees for being so pissed off about me cheating. Then I'll think about marrying you again instead of your cute sister.
I'm not screwing around here, Richard. I am never going to have anything to do with a cheating bastard like yourself ever again. If you're going to ask me to apologize for being upset at your unfaithfulness, then go right ahead and marry Amy instead of me. I'll let her be the bride now.
Well, I hope you don't regret what you just said to me later. And now I need to go tell Amy the good news and make her my wife. Take that dress off and go sit down with your parents or something.
Hey, Mia. I already heard this from Richard, but are you really going to let me have him? It's a dream of mine to be married to someone like him. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with him now. He and I have broken up now, so I don't care who he gets married to. And that even goes for if my own damn sister decides to marry him. Then I'm not going to hold back and will be making him my husband. I'm going to get into that wedding dress right now and go find him before this wedding starts. But before this whole event starts, I want you to go home. What? I can't just hang around while the two of you get married? I was thinking it would be a nice gift to the both of you to sit back and watch you guys get married after I let you take my fiancé. I really don't like the idea of having my wedding in front of my fiancé's ex-girlfriend, though. I also know that you're just trying to hold your emotions back now, but deep down, the thought of having lost Richard to me is killing you, right? And the moment you see Richard and I up on stage getting married and kissing, all those emotions will come out and cause a commotion that I want to avoid. Huh? I can't have you breaking down at my wedding. That's why you need to go home right now. I don't want to watch as a woman who looks just like me breaks into pieces while I'm trying to be happy. Who do you think is responsible for you having a man to marry now after you went and laid your hands on him? But I guess that's an order from the bride of today's wedding, right? So I'll do just as you've said and go home. As long as you follow my word, you'll really be helping me out. I'll make sure that this gorgeous wedding you planned out is all enjoyed by me in your place. Thank you so much for giving me your wealthy man to marry today. And thank you very much for taking him off my hands. Huh? I never thought I'd be able to run away right before my fate to him had been sealed. I wanted to kind of see how things would turn out as his wife, but this is a far better ending. Thanks for the help, Amy. Wait a sec, May, huh? You are trying way too hard now to play this all off. You just had to give up your future of being married to a wealthy man and his rich family, and I'm sure you want him back. And then there's this gorgeous and massive wedding you're having to give up. Just tells me that it breaks your heart having to lose everything to your twin sister. Please, I want to hear that from you. Gorgeous and massive wedding, huh? If that's really what you think of it, then kudos to you. Huh? You'll understand what I mean by that very soon. Now I'm going to follow your demands and get on out of here. Please enjoy that wedding you have today, both of you unfaithful jerks. Wait, Mia! What the hell is going on right now? I have never seen a wedding as basic and low cost as this. What do you think of it? Have you come around to understanding what I meant now? I never thought you were so delusional that you thought a wedding like that was massive and gorgeous looking. You really think that single-piece white sundress is a wedding dress? And what about the food? Did you enjoy the fact that there was no course meal there today, but instead a bunch of different pizzas that we had ordered at a great deal? That really is the cheapest wedding I've ever seen, but I'm glad you think of it as being gorgeous and fancy. What happened to the wedding that a man from a wealthy family should be having? There was only one bottle of champagne for us to crack open. And it wasn't even real champagne either, but a simple sparkling wine. And we had to use small paper cups to drink it with. This cheap of a wedding is not supposed to be happening right now. Right? That's what I was thinking as well leading up to today. But it doesn't seem that Richard or his family have any idea what they're doing. They're all massive penny pinchers, and they made sure to do everything they could in order to not spend any more than they had on the wedding. What? Massive penny pinchers? What do you mean? Richard's family should all be full of very rich people who own all kinds of things, right? There's no reason for them all having to be so stingy, right? They might be very well off, but that's all because they're super stingy. What? Things weren't too bad back when we started dating. He may have been very wealthy, but he was very down to earth and never acted like he was better than me for having all that money. He would never overspend on anything and made sure to save up money along with me. But once we got engaged, I started to see just how bad things surrounding his family's penny pinching could be. And then I realized in the end that his family aren't all super wealthy people who own lots of properties, but just a bunch of stingy jerks that never use any of their money on anything. How did you find out all about that? It started with things like my birthday and our anniversary. When we were dating, he would go out of his way to make things special for me like I did for him. But once we became engaged, he told me that I'd become his family soon, so he didn't have to waste any more money on me. And since then, he didn't ever give me anything for any reason. No cakes, no flowers, no presents. What? Also, he made it clear to me that any dates we went on, we wouldn't be able to eat out. He told me that eating out was a waste of money for us, and so he'd always stop at a drive-thru and order the cheapest meals they had. When we'd go to the movie theater, he wouldn't let me buy anything from the concession, saying that popcorn from home was a lot cheaper, and so was bottled water. What? And just like all those things, today's wedding also turned into a nightmare filled with him and his family wanting to save every penny they could. Planning for it was hell, Amy. Because I not only had to deal with Richard being so stingy around me, but his parents as well. They would tell me it was stupid to put so much money into something like a wedding that only lasts a couple of hours. And they told me to get the cheapest options for everything, including the dress and wedding rings themselves. I wanted to spend a lot of the money I had saved up on the wedding because that's why I saved so much, but they all told me I couldn't and that I only had to deal with the cheapest options. What? There's no way. I thought that because his family is so rich, they'd all be paying for everything and you'd get to have the best wedding ever. Is that not the case? It sure as hell isn't. Today's wedding was supposed to be paid for by Richard and I. And I'll have you know I was going to be paying for 70% of that wedding in the end. What? That's why I wanted the wedding to be from one of my dreams, because I'd be having to put so much money into it myself. I told Richard off by saying that if I'm having to pay so much, then I'm going to make it my way. But when I went there this morning to get ready, his parents had told all the staff to stick with the cheapest stuff, so all the things I had planned out in the end were gone. They really wanted that wedding to be as cheap as possible, even though I was going to be paying for most of it. I didn't even get to have the dress I wanted, instead being given that cheap white sundress to wear. When that happened, I froze up with anger. You're lying, right? They took things that far and changed all the plans you had? They really didn't want me to have the wedding of my dreams today. And their reasoning for why they did all of that to me in the end was that we didn't have to show off to any of the guests just because they're all just family. That's how my wedding went from being something of my dreams to a completely cheap mess. And if that wasn't already bad enough for me, I had to walk back to the changing room to find you and Richard cuddling on the love seat in there. When I first saw that, I was dead inside. What? I was wondering why you came bursting into that room so upset about everything, and that's the reason why? I was still shocked by the fact my own twin sister had been laying her hands on my fiancé for half a year, and will never forgive you guys for that. But at least I don't have to sit through a wedding like that thanks to you. So I appreciate you taking Richard from me very much. You gave me the best reason for getting the hell out of that place. No way, I never heard anything about this. I thought that Richard and his family were all very well off and that after the wedding I'd be able to live my life however I wanted to with all their money. Well, that's never happening because it's impossible. They may have a lot of money, but they are all so stingy that you'll never be able to spend more than $5 on most things. So enjoy living the most boring life ever after today. And I'll have you know one of their rules is that you can only flush the toilet once per day. What did you say? There are plenty of other insane rules with them, which you'll find out about soon. Just make sure you don't do anything else fun after that wedding today, like a honeymoon, because that would be wasting all their money. Although I'm sure you won't want a honeymoon after you find out what's really in store for you. You're kidding me, right? Hold on. Please tell me more about what's going on here. I don't want to have this wedding anymore, and Richard is my husband. Now you have a wonderful marriage with Richard for me, okay? I'm going to go talk with a lawyer soon about the settlement I need to get from Richard, so we can talk again then.
Hey, Mia. What's this settlement you're asking me for? You think you can get $100,000 from me for just cheating on you? That is way too much to be asking me for.
Don't you dare say that what you did isn't worth $100,000. I made sure to have my lawyer look over all the things you'd done to me, and this was the amount he came up with.
Yeah, you got a lawyer?
I had to learn that you'd been cheating on me with my sister at our wedding. And that had been going on for half a year already. You then didn't even bother to say sorry for what you'd been doing, instead leaving me to take my sister's hands as your bride. All of these things I had to go through and witness, so I think this price my lawyer and I are asking for is very fair.
But you were the one saying the wedding would be canceled, right? That's why I ended up changing my bride to Amy instead of you. And you are just as much to blame for me leaving you as I am here.
The reason I said the wedding would be canceled is because I came into that changing room to find you and my sister cuddling on the love chair. Don't even try giving me excuses like that again for something you knew you were doing that whole time.
But okay, even still, $100,000 is a bit too...
Well, this is just too bad for you now, isn't it? All that money you've been saving up forever by being such a frickin' cheapskate is all going to vanish in front of your eyes. Had you just been faithful to me and not committed so many acts of war, then you could have kept all that money and not made me your enemy.
For God's sake, you're taking me down now, because I have all this money that you don't.
I don't care how you think of this. I just want that money from you, and until I get it, I'm going to keep on teasing you. I want you to understand just how much of a dick you really are, and this is the only way to make you think.
Crap. I get it all right. I just have to pay this off to you, right? Just pay it off. I have a lot more money than this anyway, so $100,000 isn't gonna hurt too badly. I'll make sure to even pay this settlement to you in one lump payment, to show you that I'm not affected by it.
That's what I expected to hear from the son of a very wealthy family. It is so cool that you can pay off $100,000 in one payment like that.
But after I paid you, don't you ever come around your sister and I again. I don't want to see your face ever again.
You don't have to tell me that. My plan was to never come around you guys again this whole time. But I hope you remember that from now on, your wife is going to have my exact same face, so you can remember me by that. Will you be able to withstand seeing my face every day when you take a look at Amy?
Shut up. You were thrown away by me, so shut the hell up. I don't want to hear from you or see you ever again.
Sounds good. Have a good one, Richard. And let my sister know to have a great time with you as well. Mia, I can't take this anymore. I cannot be married to someone as stingy as that any longer. My, oh my, what's happened, Amy? I thought you and Richard were going to have such a happy marriage together after you guys took that wedding from me. None of this is fun for me. It's like I've been living in this hell this whole time. It's all because you went and took $100,000 of Richard's money. This is all your fault, and now I'm never going to be happy again. What? How come all of that is because of me? You both knew that something like cheating would land you guys a settlement like that. And it wasn't like Richard didn't pay it all off to me in one payment, so he should have all sorts of money still. But he wasn't happy at all and has been super pissed ever since. He freaked out on me, saying that having to pay $100,000 for a woman like me wasn't even close to worth it. So until he's able to get that $100,000 back that he paid you, we aren't able to spend any money at all. And in order to cut costs even more for us, he's having us move back to his parents' house. What? You guys only just got married and you're already having to go back to live with his parents? I was totally against all of it, but Richard said that if I don't want to go and live with his parents, that I have to pay him the $100,000 right now. And then he said if I can't pay him that, I need to shut up and listen to him. I know that Richard has some money left after that settlement, but you never had any money to begin with, so of course you're not paying him anything. Also, I'm sure both Mom and Dad aren't going to be helping you at all since they're fed up with your crap, right? Well, that's why I'm having to listen to everything Richard says now. He said I'll just have to suck it up and deal with the amount of saving we'll have to do until he has that $100,000 back. At first, I thought I could deal with it all, but things have been far worse than I was expecting. I just can't do this anymore. And to make things worse, I'm starting to have to take all of Richard's mother's clothes as hand-me-downs. Is that right? Wow. When I first started moving over to his parents' house, his mom came to me saying I had to take all my expensive brand clothing and sell it. She told me that I'd have to sell everything of value that I had to make up for all the trouble I caused their son. So you really had to go and sell all of your clothing? His mother went and took all my things without telling me before she sold it all. I told her to stay away from my things because I didn't want to sell anything. But while I was out of the house for a bit, she took all my boxes of clothing and sold them. My clothing, my bags, everything. Wow. And after all of that is when his mother told me to start wearing her hand-me-downs. All of it is ancient and faded to hell. Damn. I would never wear someone else's clothing like that, even if they were my mother-in-law. I don't want to wear any of it either, but this is the only clothing I have now, so it's either this or I'm naked. And to make everything even worse, to save extra money, I've been told to only eat what I can gather. And so they send me out back to pick vegetables all day long and then make something with them. Because of that, my well-cared-for nails are all filled with dirt and are completely ruined. And it's not like you'll be able to go back and get another manicure, right? Of course not. I'm not even getting any money from the family. I can't even go out and buy myself a thing of gum. That's how poor I am now. That really is something you're having to live through? And definitely not the kind of newly married life that I'd want to have. But you wanted that life so badly that you went and took your sister's fiancé from her. So, guess you really will just have to suck it up and deal with living in a penny-pinching family. Have fun. But I can't have any fun here. Please, come here and take my place. I'm sure he and his family will never even notice you coming in and taking my place as his wife. I'm sure you still have some feelings for Richard, right? I'll give him back to you as long as you come and take my place here. I have no feelings for that man anymore, and I don't want to live my life in that hell again. I would much rather continue living my life right now, making the money I want and spending the money I want. Sorry, but I would never want to live in your shoes right now. But I don't want this life anymore. What the hell am I going to do if you won't take Richard back? Are you telling me to just continue living like I'm poor? You were so happy before to have me give you my fiancé and then let you take over my wedding. Whatever happened to all that excitement, Amy? Maybe it's time you think back to what was making you so happy and use those memories to push you through those most troubling times. Good luck now. Amy went and pleaded for a divorce many, many times, but every time his family told her that until she paid them at least $50,000 for the money he lost to me, she would be theirs to keep. She started to try and make that $50,000 and went out to work part-time, but when she finally found one and started to bring home a paycheck, Richard and his family took 90% of it, saying that was the price for being his wife. So in the end, she was never really able to save up any money at all. And that life that should have been so easy and full of money for her as Richard's wife turned into a living hell she would never be able to escape from. Now, as for what happened with Richard himself after everything, let's just say he only started to lose more money. At first he said he would start to sell some of his stocks that he had, but he realized too late that the market was really bad and ended up losing more money than he could even imagine. He then tried to buy everything back to wait for a better time to sell, but this led to him overspending and going into debt. He tried one last time to sell those stocks off during a better time, so he could pay off his debt at least, but did not make as much as he thought, leading him to stick his hands into the family savings account. But even with that extra money his parents had saved up, he continued to lose more and more on the stock market. And to this day, I don't think he's found a way out of that downward spiraling situation. Where are you right now, Miles? It's a bit past the time we planned on going out for dinner now, right?
I don't really feel like going out now, so you can go ahead and eat by yourself tonight.
What? What do you mean you don't feel like going out to eat now? This is the day of our wedding anniversary, is it not?
Right. What is it, our 5th year now being married to one another? Well, I'm glad we could make it to 5 years together, but you can now start calling it the anniversary of our divorce. Zoe, today you and I are getting a divorce.
Huh? What are you talking about? A divorce? Why would you bring something like that up on a day like today?
I'm sure you understand the reason why, right? You haven't been able to bear a child for me all this time, and I've started to think of you as a defective product.
What?
It's been 5 years already, and you have not once gotten pregnant yet with a child for me. So that's why today I'm getting away from you. I can't keep looking at my parents' disappointed faces any longer as they continue to hope for a grandchild.
Wait a minute. That's not a good enough excuse for a divorce, Miles.
Oh, I think it's a very good excuse, actually. And even my parents are both saying that I have no use for you as my wife anymore. My parents have actually been wishing for the both of us to get a divorce for a long time now.
What did you say?
They are always going on and on about how they want me to get rid of you and marry a much younger and more healthy girl. You have to understand that at some point, I need to follow through with what they're wanting from me.
Well, if you all want me to have a baby so badly, then you need to start working with me on having one. I'm in the same boat as all of you, wanting a baby. And that's why I've been asking for us to go to a maternity clinic and see what the problem is. Yet you always tell me not to go and talk to them about any of it, nor will you go there yourself.
You think that kind of place is meant for men? And if someone were to see you going to a clinic like that due to not being able to have a baby, then I'd become the laughingstock of this whole city. They will tease me for marrying some kind of defective woman.
Nobody is going to talk about you that way or laugh at you.
You and I are getting a divorce. Then I'm going to find myself a young woman to carry my children. I'll be able to marry her, and that night after doing the dirty, she'll be pregnant with my kid, and I'll never have to be embarrassed around my parents again.
I'm so sorry, Zoe. I've done something terrible on the day of my wedding to you, and I so badly regret it. What? Did you forget to save me a seat or something, even though I RSVP'd and everything? Of course I made sure to have a seat ready for you. You're one of my closest friends. The problem here is that there's someone at my wedding that I didn't want to be here. What? Actually, about my wedding today. Well, it looks like your ex-husband is going to be coming here as well. What? You're talking about Miles, right? Maybe he's friends with the groom or something like that? Actually, it's a lot worse and crazier than that. It turns out that the boss of my fiancé is Miles's mother. What? And, well, I was totally fine with her coming to the wedding to see one of her employees get married and all, but I started to wonder why she wanted her son to come here as well. When she said who he is, I freaked out just a little. Huh? I want to know why your fiancé's boss thinks she needs to be having her son come to your guys' wedding. From what it looks like, you and your fiancé aren't even friends with him or anything, right? From what she was saying to my fiancé, she wants her son to be here so he can look for a partner he can get married to. What? To look for a new partner to marry? From what it looks like, he still hasn't gotten married after your guys' divorce. And so his mom has taken it upon herself to help him look for a new woman to get married to. She's even been trying to get a younger woman at the company to go out with Miles, sometimes even forcing them to. She thinks that just because she's their superior, she can do things as messed up as that. You're kidding, right? So she thinks that since he hasn't been able to find someone so far, the next step is having him come to one of her subordinates' weddings? Using someone else's wedding like it was a matchmaking party is crazy. Does she not realize that what she's doing right now is unthinkable? I don't think she does, or perhaps she just doesn't care. But my fiancé's told me that he can't say no to her because she's his boss. So because of that, it's looking like Miles is on his way here now. No way. I'm sure that you don't want to stay away from coming to my wedding, but you also don't want to see your ex here, right? It's not too late to have me tell everyone that you're feeling sick and let you stay home, you know. I am not going to stay away from the wedding of one of my best friends, no matter who's there. Thank you for worrying about me, though. You're really going to come still? Are you sure? You don't have to force yourself to. I told you I'll be fine, so you don't have to worry at all. It's been 3 years now since the divorce, so I'll be all right now. And I'm pretty sure for him, he doesn't care about me being at the same event as he is. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
I never thought I'd be running into you again at a place like this. This really is a small world.
I feel the same way. I'd always planned on never seeing you, of all people, again in my life. But I guess not all plans go as people wish.
Exactly. I never planned on seeing you again either, especially now that you're such a fatty. 3 years has really done a number on you, girl, hasn't it?
Huh?
You were so sensitive about your body back when you were married to me, right? What happened? Did me throwing you away like that cause you to get that big? I guess that was the end of your romance life then, huh? Nobody's going to want to go out with some fatty your age.
You're being too kind, Miles. Especially when it should be you who's worried about finding a new partner to continue your romance life. From what I've heard, you still haven't gotten married after leaving me. And not just that you haven't gotten married again, but that you're working so hard trying to find yourself someone that'll take you.
Huh? You think I'm working that hard right now?
Well, you've had to use your own mom's position in order to get yourself a woman that'll go on dates with you. But even then, these women end up realizing just how awful you are and run far away from you. So now you're resorting to coming to your mom's subordinate's wedding in order to take a chance at finding someone? If this isn't you trying really hard to find someone, then what would you call it,
You shut up! I am going to find myself a woman to bear me a child, all right? And because of my desire for the perfect woman, I've been going on date after date, trying to hit every place I can in order to find me the one.
You made it seem like after the divorce you'd have yourself a young and healthy woman in no time. But it's been 3 years now and you still haven't been able to reel one of those women in. Seems like your plans for success have been a lot tougher than even you could imagine back then.
What is with you acting like that right now? You're really trying hard to make fun of me when you're the fat pig between the two of us. You became such a fatty right after losing me because you're a defective woman. I don't get why you think you can talk to me with that attitude when you're the one who's the size of my car and can't even do your natural job as a female and make a baby.
What?
Go ahead and keep talking like I'll never have a chance of getting married again. Because even you know deep down, your chances are long gone, and your bloodline is going to end with your fat butt. The only reason I'm working so hard is in order to make the perfect baby for my parents to see. What's wrong with me being so generous to them by wanting to do that?
I never said there was anything wrong with it. I was just thinking things have gotten pretty tough for you now after 3 years. I mean, you're having to come to a wedding that your mom was invited to, all because you still haven't gotten remarried and had any kids yet. If I were in your mom's shoes, I would have never done something as embarrassing to my son as that.
I know all kinds of people who go to weddings looking for a new partner. And because of what my mom did for me today, I have found the one. I may have had to run into a pig, but I was able to find the best fit possible to marry me.
What? You found yourself a good one?
That's right. Just a bit ago, I changed numbers with a girl who is 23 years old and is ready for me. She was very close to me the moment I started talking to her, and I'm sure within no time she's going to be all over me. Then all I'm going to have to do is ask her the question, and from there I can put a baby in her. I'm sorry that your fat butt is going to get left behind, but I need to move on with this new girl.
23 years old, huh? That's a pretty young woman for even you to be getting married to.
She's going to be the one for me, because someone that young is so fertile that just laying in bed with her will get her pregnant. Also, she happens to be a real heart stopper, so she is just perfect as my wife.
You're in your 40s now, and you think she's the perfect one for you? To be honest, she might actually stop your heart, literally, because of the age you are.
I'm gonna make sure she's mine for good, and that I have those kids my parents are wanting. Man, I'm so sorry, Zoe. I'm going to be the first between us to start a new life, making a happy family with such a young woman. Oh, but this was bound to happen. I mean, look at you. After 3 years, you turned into a fatty, and I turned into a real man who can pull any girl in.
Excuse me?
Just take a look at yourself in the mirror, for Christ's sakes. Not only are you the size of a small moon, but your skin looks like the surface of one too. Unlike me, who's going to get married to a 23-year-old hottie, you're going to live the rest of your life as a fat and lonely loser.
The only reason I have a belly as big as this is due to my baby.
What?
I just chose to stay quiet about it so that you could have your fun calling me fat and ugly. I can understand being so happy after finding a girl almost half your age to exchange numbers with, but I'm not so sure you'll even have a chance of going on a date with her. Women aren't into men who call other women fatty and pigs. And they for sure don't like men who can't notice the most basic of things like my last name changing. I really don't think things will make it very far with that young girl.
Wait. What? What do you mean by that? Your last name, it changed? And you're pregnant? Are you trying to tell me that you got remarried quicker than me?
The year after you and I got divorced, I got married to a new man. I actually ran into him by accident, but it became the best accident I've ever had. Soon after we first met, we then got married. And before I knew it, I'm 9 months pregnant and running into my ex at a wedding.
Huh? What do you mean you got remarried before me? This is a joke, right? And you're pregnant now? That gut of yours looks more like fat to me than a baby.
That's not fat at all, rather a baby that my husband and I are going to love very much.
That's a lie. Why were you able to get pregnant? You were supposed to be the defective woman I left who couldn't get pregnant even after 5 years of trying. That's why I left you, and for the past 3 years I've been looking for a perfect partner.
Right after I got married again, my husband and I went to the maternity clinic to talk with a doctor there. My husband wasn't even embarrassed by any of it at all, because he wanted to make sure we did everything we could to get me pregnant. But once we went there and both got tested, the doctor told me there was nothing wrong with myself or my husband. And the very next day, after a long nightly session together, I was pregnant. The only thing my doctor told me might have been the problem was stress when I was married to you. Or the obvious one being that I was never the infertile one. On my way out, I was given one last talk by my doctor telling me to make sure I took good care of myself when trying for a baby and to eat well when pregnant. It was funny though, because the next day after seeing I was pregnant, I called that doctor back and both my husband and I thanked him so much.
There's no way. We tried for 5 years and got nowhere. You're telling me that after going to the clinic, you learned that all you needed to do was get into bed with him and that did it?
Well, the doctor said there was nothing wrong with us, and that's probably why it was so easy to make a baby. It could also just be luck being on my side at the time, but who knows? I'm sure had you just listened to me back then about going to the clinic, we could have figured something out and had a baby together.
No way.
I'm sorry about that. I guess I'm the one who was able to get a head start and have the happy little family you were bragging so much about just then. But this was all bound to happen, right? You were the one that blamed me for everything, like your parents, and forced me away with a divorce. When all you really had to do was go with me to see a doctor and learn what the problem was between us.
Are you trying to say this is my fault? You're saying I'm to blame for you never getting pregnant?
Well, all I need from you was to go to the clinic with me and take some tests, but you were the one who said no to both of us going.
I'm not playing around anymore. Don't think you can start blaming me just because you got remarried and pregnant with a baby a bit sooner than me. I'm going to get married before you can even have that baby. And unlike your husband, I'm going to get myself a 23-year-old hottie to have a baby with.
You haven't been having any luck for the past 3 years, but you think now you'll be able to get married? You both haven't even gone on a date yet. All you did was get her number.
Well, her and I will be dating really soon here, so who cares about that? I heard that those younger girls love older men like me, and will 100% get pregnant when we start. She's already thinking of me right now, I'm sure. And before long, we'll be married and having that baby.
You sure?
I'm sure you didn't have a chance to see it at that time, but her and I are dying to sleep together. I'll make sure to show you just how much she loves me and wants me in a couple of days. You'll see that she wants to get married to me this month and carry my child, who will turn out way better than the one you're carrying.
I really think you've taken what's happened today a bit too far in your head. Did you ever realize that the young girl you got that number from today happens to be the CEO of the company your mom works for?
What?
I heard about this from my friend's fiancé. He told me it wasn't just your mom he invited today, but his CEO as well. And it turns out that the CEO's daughter wanted to come as well to his wedding, so he said it was fine for her to come as well.
What? Today the groom's CEO daughter came here to see the wedding as well?
Apparently she's been friends with him since she was in college, so he had planned to invite her anyway, but decided to just have the CEO take care of bringing her along. The groom actually helped coach one of the teams she was on there, so it's more like a coach-to-player relationship. But now I'm having to learn that you were the one that ended up exchanging numbers with her at the wedding. I guess things have only gotten even more crazy when it comes to you, Miles.
What the hell is going on here? There's nothing wrong with any of this. She wanted to exchange numbers with me because young girls like her love older guys. Also, when I had given her my number as well, she didn't seem to be upset with anything. She actually seemed very happy to give me her number and get mine.
She might have just been putting on a face at the time as to not cause any drama.
What did you say?
Go ahead and ask your mom whether she was really happy to be giving you her number, all right? I just saw the CEO call for her to go to a separate room with him a second ago.
What?
I wonder what he could be talking about with her in there. You probably have something to do with all of it, so go over there and have a look yourself.
What should I do, Zoe? My mom is going to be fired, I think. And it's all my fault.
Oh my. I noticed that right after you went to go see your mom, you both left the wedding before it had even come close to finishing. I guess she was being talked to by the CEO about being fired then.
I had asked her for her number thinking that things between her and I were amazing. And I even texted her right after getting dinner the next day together. But it turned out she didn't even want to give me her number and felt pressure to do so. What the hell is all this? Why did she tattle about it to her father like that?
What are you going on about? I think what's going on here was bound to happen with you. But wow, now your mom is getting fired over it? I guess the CEO really loves his daughter a lot to be going through with something like that.
That's not the only reason she's going to be getting fired. The CEO also learned about how my mom would have all the younger women at work go on dates with me. And that's one other real reason why she's going to be getting fired. My mom was just trying to help me out by finding me women who she thought would bear me a child and marry me. But the CEO thinks she was abusing her power in that company to do all that. She shouldn't be fired for that.
Well, I think she should be after all that. I don't think the CEO took your mom forcing young employees of his to go out with you just because she's their boss very lightly.
What? You're not going to feel bad for me about what's happening right now?
Excuse me?
I just lost the one chance I had at getting a wife, Zoe. And not just lost it, but also lost my mom her job due to it as well. You're not gonna come and comfort me after all that just happened?
What the hell is wrong with you? Why would I ever come comfort you or be on your side when you're my ex-husband? Ugh, goodbye now, you freak.
Hey, wait! You're being cruel by leaving me. You think it's totally fine for you to be the only person between us to get married and have kids? Are you trying to tell me that you have no more feelings for your ex-husband anymore?
Yeah, I don't care for you at all.
What the frick? You and I were married for 5 years, and you're going to say something like that to me? Whose fault do you think all this was? You take responsibility for all this right now and give me a baby! I'm gonna get back together with you. You seem to be able to make kids now, so that won't be a problem for me. You get married to me again right now and let me impregnate you.
So is this what happens when a 5-year-old doesn't get what they wanted for Christmas? If so, then I'm going to need to make sure to raise my baby right because your mom sure as hell did not. I happen to already have a husband and I'm carrying his child.
Go and throw that man aside. And since that baby in you isn't mine, I want you to get it aborted. Go do that right now, and when you get back from the hospital, you let me sleep with you.
What the hell?
This has all been your fault. Letting me get divorced from you that easily 3 years ago. You forced me to have to go out looking for a partner with no help from anyone besides my mom, while you go to live the easy life. All because of you, I've had to waste 3 years of my freaking life. And now my mom is losing her job because of you. You take responsibility for all of that, and let me screw you.
The only creature to blame is the one who is infertile and did nothing about it, and then threw his wife out thinking she was the problem. Stop trying to blame me for all your mistakes and then saying such heinous things, you disgusting pile of fermented roadkill. I hope you go to hell and have nobody around you when you die. Actually, I hope it happens soon because it would benefit this world not having a monster like you in it.
What was that?
I'm glad you can't find another woman to marry you. You don't deserve to have a baby, and that's why you're the infertile one, you prick. And even if you were able to have one, I'm sure the woman who birthed them would divorce you soon after and take the baby with them. I feel bad for anything that would ever be considered your family.
What? You don't have the right to say things like that to me.
I'm only saying things like this to you now because I'm your ex-wife and I hate you. You always seem to think you could just blame anyone else but yourself for your problems. And now you want me to get an abortion because you think you can guilt me into letting you screw me and carry your child? You're not going to become a husband or a father thinking such absurd things as that. You being infertile and alone forever is this world's gift to the rest of us living on it.
Then what about what my parents and I want? I want to give my parents a baby that they can both feel happy about.
Buy a baby doll and show them that. Give it to them and say it's the only grandbaby you can make.
Excuse me?
Now, I've had enough of this BS. I'm going to erase any memory of you off the surface of my brain and live a lovely life with my family. So don't you ever come into my happy world again and just go screw yourself. What I had heard after that day from my friend who had just had her wedding is that Miles's mom ended up getting fired, and her husband ended up taking her place within the company. Then, after the crazy old boss was out of the company for good, the environment within the workplace improved, and that next quarter the company was making a lot more profit than previous years. When it comes to Miles and his mom, they ended up moving to a new town and getting an apartment there closer to where his mom would be working her next job. But she wasn't quite finished with her crap and would continue to ask both coworkers and customers at work if they wanted to marry her son. This then led her to lose her job soon after, and she'd be forced to start her cycle all over again with yet another job. For Miles himself, he would continue to try asking out different women, hoping to find someone who would marry him, but soon he realized that the only way he could win anyone over was with money. This led him to start borrowing tons from the bank to fake that he was well off, which is only going to lead him down a hole which will get him closer to hell for sure. I finally found your number. So you are my brother's current girlfriend, and I know about how you went and gave my brother a new coat for his birthday. Wait, is this Jacob's little sister? He'd been telling me about how he had a little sister who happens to be years younger than him. That's me. I am my brother's cute little sister, Chloe. And you are my brother's girlfriend, right? Well, nice to meet you, Chloe. My name's Danny, and yes, I am going out with your brother. Thank you for reaching out to me today. Huh? Do you think I want to be reaching out to you right now? You are nothing but a useless woman to my family and I, so of course I don't want to be talking with you right now. What? You're his girlfriend, and you gifted him a terrible-looking coat like that for his birthday? You've really gone and done it now. My brother has no reason to be wearing such an ugly coat as that. It doesn't even look good on him, so I made sure to cut it to frickin' shreds. That whole coat is in tiny little pieces now and sitting at the bottom of our trash can outside. What? You shredded that coat up? I made sure you couldn't even recognize that it was a coat. See what happens when you give awful presents to your boyfriend? That coat was part of a limited time collaboration of some of his favorite artists that he'd been wanting for so long now. And the price of that coat was insanely high. My brother already has a really good coat that he loves, and that's the one I gave him long ago. That's the only coat he needs. It looks wonderful on him. He has no need for your cruddy present, though, when you didn't put any thought into that coat to begin with. But, Chloe, did you really have to cut the coat up and throw it away? That was not okay of you, all right, Chloe? Huh? We have only just met, so don't you dare start calling me by my name. You really are the most audacious woman ever. What? Are we done here? Just because you've dated him for a few years doesn't mean you know everything about him like I do. I have been with my brother ever since I was born. I know every single detail that pertains to him. I know what suits him best, and I know what he needs and wants. And I'm the only one who knows all of that. Of course you've been around him a lot longer since you're both siblings with one another. And what made you think you could just start dating him without my permission in the first place? And then you went and gave him the ugliest present ever? Break up with my brother already, you frickin' witch. My brother does not need any girlfriends.
Danny, I'm so sorry about her. I know that she got a few texts from my little sister, right? And I'm sure you heard about what happened to the coat as well, right?
Yeah, she went and shredded the whole coat before throwing it in the trash. Is that really true?
Yeah, I just got back home from being at work and I was shocked to see what happened. I even went through all of the effort of installing a lock on my door and locking it daily. She ended up making a duplicate of that key and used it to get in.
I never knew you had such a troublesome little sister, Jacob. You'd always mentioned having a little sister, but not someone like that.
I didn't think she was too bad at first, but I think she is way too attached to me now. And it's not healthy. Also, you can blame me in part for this, since I didn't try earlier to get her off my back.
The fact that she is so in love with you, to the point she'd do something like that to a present from your girlfriend, I think she needs to see someone about that, and soon.
Oh, you went through so much effort getting me that coat, so I'm really sorry for what she's done. Oh, to tell you the truth, her being so attached to me has really been driving me more and more nuts lately. That's why I went and installed the lock on my door and everything.
Is she really that bad each and every day?
I was thinking that by locking her out of my room she'd quiet down a bit, but honestly it's only made her more sneaky. Back before I put that lock on, though, things are so much worse outright. She'd go into my room when I wasn't around and look at all my schedules and memorise them. And whenever I'd get a girlfriend, she'd try to find out about them right away and start to bully them. Because of that, I've been through so many breakups that it's not even funny.
So she really isn't going to let you go without a fight?
I know. At first I thought she was just attached to me on a playful level, but things have only gotten more scary. Every time I have another woman around me, she just loses it and goes haywire. She'll sit outside my room sometimes screaming about how I can have another girl in my life when I already have her.
Dang.
The first time something like this started to happen, I chewed her out for it. But every time she only got worse and worse, and I've become so tired and complacent. Like over and over again, I'd find myself someone new, and then when my sister found out, she'd attack, doing things to the girls I love behind my back, to the point they'd leave me without even saying a word. That's why I've been through 7 girls now, and all of them have dumped me.
Things have been really tough for you then.
That's why I was trying so hard this time to keep you a secret from her. I even told my parents and everyone to keep you a secret from her, yet out of nowhere she was able to find out.
So that's the reason why you never invited me over to your parents' house to hang out? I thought it was kind of wild that every time we went on dates, you were asking for us to go outside the town you're living in.
Well, I didn't want Chloe to find anything out about you, so I had to keep you far away. I promised to go have a word with her this time so that she won't bother you any more than she already has. So please don't break up with me just yet.
Don't worry, Jacob. I would never break up with you over something you can't really control.
You sure?
Of course I am. But about this mess we have on our hands, we can either keep on dating one another like nothing's even happened, or we can break up for a little bit in order to get her off my tail.
Well, since she's going to be a major problem, I'll just tell her you left me and that should settle her down. I'll make sure she believes that.
Well, I'll leave all that up to you then, and we can continue to date in secrecy. Just make sure to let me know if anything crazy happens. You really did a number on me with that punch to my face, didn't you? I had to get 6 stitches to fix that gash. This is the first time I've ever had to get stitches. What? You're still alive after all that? Hey, who the hell do you think you are acting like I'm dead? I may have been bleeding a lot at the time, but the cut was not as big as you think. But I saw all that blood coming out of you and I thought it was the end. That's because you literally punched me in the head with all your weight and caused a deep gash. I never thought that you'd come up from behind me like that, though, and punch me. I was just trying to talk with your parents about our marriage, and the next thing I know, I'm in the hospital having my face stitched up. What the hell were you thinking, Chloe? I had no other choice but to do that to you. I had just come home from my part-time job, and you were standing in my house. I was told before that you and my brother had broken up, yet you were there talking with my parents about how you'd become my brother's wife? What is all of that about? That all got my blood boiling in seconds, and before I knew it, you were on the ground. My body knew punching you like that was the right thing to do. Huh? Now, you tell me right now, what's going on here? Why did you come to my parents' house to talk with my parents about marrying my brother? You should have broken up with my brother a year ago. I'm sorry, but your brother and I faked a breakup in order to continue dating in secrecy. We had hidden our relationship to one another from you for a while now, and things really started to set in. What was that? And then I was proposed to by your brother, and we were engaged. Today, you weren't supposed to be home, and that's why I aimed to come over and have a talk with your parents. However, you came back home unexpectedly and then punched me right in the head. The store I've been working at had to close for the day. The fridge in the kitchen had broken, so all of the food we were going to sell had gone bad. That's why I had to come home. And when I opened the front door, I had to see the woman my brother should have left a year ago talking about marrying my brother. Then this was all a terrible coincidence. Had your store's fridge not broken, then all those talks could have taken place and Jacob and I could be happy. Shut up! I didn't think that much blood would come out of your head like that. I was just punching you in the head with my bag in hand, that's all. But it just so happened that I had my battery pack in my bag and that hit you the hardest. Yet just from that, you chose to let all of that blood flow out of your head. Wait, what? You're blaming me now for the amount of blood that came out of my head? I was knocked out by that punch and don't even remember hitting the ground. Chloe, I hope you understand that what you did to me was assault, right? You just committed a crime. Are you aware of that? I guess that is the case, isn't it? After you had to be taken away by the EMTs, my parents started to really dig into me with all their yelling, and I was freaking out over the amount of blood that came out of you. But you're going to forgive me for all of that, right? I happen to be the most important thing to my brother, after all. Excuse me? 6 stitches in the head isn't all that bad. You and my brother hiding your relationship from me is far worse than me punching you, so let's just agree that we're even now. I'm not going to apologize for what I did, and you don't have to either. You're kidding, right? You sent me to the hospital, yet you're not going to apologize for any of this? If I have to apologize to you, then you have to apologize as well. You were keeping a lie from me the whole time. I want you to come to me and get on your hands and knees and apologize. Tell me that you're sorry for making me punch you and that you'll never do something like that to me again. So it really does seem that you have no idea what you're in for yet. Let me just say this one last time. I am the victim to a case of assault, and you are the one who committed that assault. If I go to the police right now about this and tell them what happened, you will most likely be arrested and taken away. Do you understand? Then you would no longer be able to attend university anymore. And as for that company you plan to join, they will refuse you. What? I've heard all about you, Chloe, from your own family. You want to go and work together with your brother for whom you love so much. And that's why you've put so much effort into studying and getting your grades up. Then you were able to go and have an interview with the same company as your brother, and they gave you an offer to join them when you graduate, right? Are you trying to threaten me now? I'm not threatening you because I will not be the one carrying all this out. I'm just telling you the facts, and that's it. What you did to me is a crime, a big one. Yet you haven't even bothered to say sorry for any of it, instead asking me to come and apologize to you. I'd shut up with all that BS you keep saying and start to get a grip on the position that you're in. But wait, you would never normally just call the police over something like this, right? I'm the little sister after all. If I were to be arrested by the police and taken to jail, you'd be making my brother very sad. Do you really think it's okay to make the man you like sad? I will most likely be telling the police, because you don't seem to quite get what you've done here. And the funny thing is, I don't think your brother would care about me having you arrested. What? So, since it's pretty obvious you just don't understand anything going on right now, I'm going to have to talk with the police. I'll let them know that you attacked me, and then you can say goodbye to your graduation and that job you were offered. This is something that has to happen, or else you will never be able to learn that you cannot act like such a dang child. Wait a second! Are you really being serious right now? I'm your fiancé's little sister, yet you're going to call the police on me? Do you have any idea how hard I've worked to make it through school and land that job offer I've been given? And do you have any idea how badly you've gone and injured me today? I was punched in the side of the forehead, pretty much, giving me a deep gash and causing me to become concussed. I was out for about 2 minutes as well, and was afraid that whole time I had to ride in the ambulance to the hospital. Don't just think that because you're my fiancé's little sister, you can get away with anything you want. I get it, all right? Since you won't stop whining about everything, I'll be kind and let you marry my brother. And that should make you happy, right? Huh? I'll let you marry my brother and become his wife, so forgive me now. You'll become my older sister then, and you can't call the police on your own family.
It's too bad I don't have a little sister anymore, though.
What?
It's people like you. When the hell are you going to learn that you can't keep acting like a bitch? Danny was being so kind just then, trying to get you to understand the predicament you're in, all while she's in the hospital and concussed.
What? Is that you, Jacob?
Yeah, your older brother that you love way too much. I now have some very important stuff to tell you, Clay. Starting today, you're no longer my little sister, as I'm cutting ties to you now. Don't call me your brother anymore, because I'm not. You're not even family to me anymore, and maybe not even to Mum or Dad anymore either.
What? Wait, what are you saying? You never cut ties to someone like me, right? Why would you even say something so scary then?
Because you've done something horrifying to my fiancé. You just attacked the most important person in my life, who I love so much, and sent her to the hospital.
You're overreacting, Jacob. She only needed to get 6 stitches. I know there was a lot of blood, but even she said the gash wasn't that large.
You're still going on about the blood? You want to know why there was so much blood for a small gash? Because you fractured her skull. What would have happened if you hit her a little bit closer to her eye? How would you take responsibility for causing one of her eyes to go blind? Would you even be able to do anything to gain our forgiveness at that point? After something as bad as this, I won't be surprised if there are lasting effects. I'm sure she's going to have some lasting brain trauma from her concussion and the skull fracture. All Danny did was go out with me and say yes to my proposal. Yet she had to pay for that, with 6 stitches, a fractured skull, and a bad concussion. Have you seriously not realised yet just what the hell you did to my fiancée?
Jacob!
Danny is my fiancée and will someday be my wife. I will not allow someone to hurt her and still think they can be part of my family. That's why I'm cutting ties to you, and you have no damn excuses for complaining about the choice I've made.
But Jacob, you're also to blame for hiding your relationship to her from me. I know I made a mistake punching her like that, but that all happened because of you.
What the hell did you just mutter?
You lied to me about breaking up with her. That's why when I saw her in the house, I was shocked and thought she was breaking in. I didn't do anything wrong for trying to protect the family.
I see. So that's how things are going to be then, Oh, I get it, Chloe. No matter how much my fiancé and I try to help you, you're not having any of it. And are going to continue blaming Danny and I until the day you die, right?
That's right. Well, that's why we just have to say sorry to one another and things will be over with, okay? Then we can go back to being brother and sister.
No, I'm done with you.
What?
I'm sad to have to say goodbye to my only sibling, ever. So this sadness will be my punishment for hiding Danny from you. If you want for us both to be blamed for doing bad things, then we both need to be punished and cut ties to one another.
No way, Jacob.
Now, with all of that said, never freaking talk to me or Danny ever again. And don't worry about me being around Mum and Dad's house, because with this marriage, I'm leaving. Also, as long as you're in that house, I will not be coming back to Mum and Dad.
Wait, Jacob, I don't want this. I don't want to cut ties to you. I don't want my brother leaving me.
I'm not your damn brother. So don't you ever, and I mean ever, call me your brother again.
Please forgive me. I will apologize over and over again if you want, on my hands and knees even. Please, just don't tell the police about this. And please, help me get my brother back so that he doesn't have to leave me. Shut the hell up. I'm going to the police with all of this once I'm out of this hospital bed. Even your parents are telling me to have the police come and get you for what you've done. No, they're not. Also, I like the idea of cutting ties to you. After all, I don't want to live in fear that my own sister-in-law could one day come and kill me for no reason. So forget about me helping you with anything. I promise to never punch you ever again. Actually, that was the first time I've ever punched someone in my whole entire life. I just blanked out, and the next thing I knew, I was punching you in the head. That's all that happened then. That's never happened to me before and will never happen again, as long as I don't get that upset. I wonder if that really was your first time. You didn't even make a sound coming up behind me like that. And the form with which you punched me seemed very well practiced, or so Jacob has said. I don't think that was your first time at all, but I guess we'll find out for sure later. What are you going on about? Do you really think that I've gone and punched other people like that before? For example, one of Jacob's ex-girlfriends. From what he's told me, you're the reason for each and every one of his breakups. He told me that you were doing all kinds of things to them behind his back. So perhaps you've done the same things to them that you did to me this time. I would never do something so scary to them. I don't care how much you all think I'm crazy in love with Jacob. I would never hurt anyone else. I'm a weak and cute little girl. This was seriously my first time ever punching someone. I promise you that I'm not lying. So you really aren't lying to me about any of that? Well then, I wonder what this nice woman in front of my eyes right now is talking about. What? What are you talking about? Who? I actually just found out this morning that one of Jacob's ex-girlfriends is working at this hospital as a nurse. What? And, well, She came to my room to talk with me this morning. She heard about what happened to me and came to say that she too was punched in the head by you back when she was with Jacob. But she didn't want to cause any drama, so she left Jacob without saying a thing. That woman is lying to you! I have never punched any of Jacob's ex-girlfriends at night before! What? I don't know why you're bringing up the time of day it happened. What? But that kind of lines up with the story this nurse told me. She said she was walking home in the middle of the night when someone your size came up and punched her. And before you ran off again, you told her, "Break up with my brother right now." So after she got up off the pavement, she made sure to text Jacob and broke up with him. Hold on. She then went to one of her friends who had also dated Jacob before, and they all started to talk about how much you'd hurt all of them. Kind of like a therapy group of sorts. They wanted to help one another understand what had happened to them and Jacob and why things had to end up with you the way they did. Crazy that you tell me I was your first victim when it seems there are plenty of others out there. You were just saying that you promised me you had never punched anyone before, and that turned out to be a lie. Since this isn't the first time you've assaulted someone, I'm sure the investigation into you by the police will help uncover all the details. And once you are taken to court by not only myself, but this friendly nurse I was just with, we'll see what happens to you graduating from college and working with Jacob. No, you can't! Well then, I need to go and have another word with Jacob. He deserves to know what happened to his exes. After all, he's a victim of your abuse as well, so he's going to find some relief in hearing this. No. I'm asking you to please not tell my brother anymore. I don't want my brother being taken away from me. I never have, so I can't be blamed for becoming so jealous whenever he'd make a new girlfriend. I promise that I will never do anything again to you, so please keep quiet about this. I don't want to be hated by him any more than I already am. Sorry that I'm not like the rest of Jacob's exes and didn't just run away when you started to attack me. Now I hope you have a safe ride to the police station in a bit here. And while you're in jail for what you've done to me and this other woman, Jacob and I will be having our wedding and getting married. After that, the police arrived at Jacob's parents' house and arrested Chloe for 2 cases of assault, and she was booked at the county jail. There she had to await her trial, and when the time came, the judge told her she'd stay in jail for another 3 years and would have to pay out settlements to me and 3 other girls. A lot of those women had shown up on the day of the court hearing, and they all forgave her after she was taken away by the police back to jail. But I was not going to forgive her and made that clear by telling my lawyer to get every penny out of her that he could in the settlement. After all of that, Jacob and I made sure to use the next 3 years to our advantage and had a wedding and everything while Chloe was locked away. And so far, things as a married couple have gone better than we could have ever imagined. We also chose to change jobs and moved out of the state, so that if the time did come that Chloe wanted to come and find us, she would never be able to.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.